Oh, shed one, hit it, miss it. There's one. Not a big one. A rock bass. Really? Would have never expected to see a rock bass in this pond. Welcome back to yet another 213 Crispy video, and today we have a new project mower. This one is a Toro Super Recycler 4, model number 20054, and as you can tell, it's a little on the dirty side. It's missing a little handle knob over here, just like that side's got. It does have the Toro personal pace system on it, which I like, and it's got the newer style A, B, C, D, E, and F indicators for levelment, which is nice as well. But it's got the older Briggs and Stratton guaranteed to start 6.75 horsepower, I believe it is. But this one claims, whenever I purchased it, that it does not run, and we will double check that. So it's got a primer bulb in the front, and it says to push 3 times. Actually, check to make sure it's got fuel first. Which it does. It doesn't have a lot, but it's got fuel. We'll check oil, make sure it's got oil, which it does have. Pull back on the handle. And give her a pull. So as you see, we have a no start situation. I do know that they were able to get it running whenever I picked it up. He told me whenever I contacted him that it would not start, so he bought a new mower, and then I went to pick it up, pulled it, and it fired right up. So I am betting that it's a carburetor issue, just like every other mower, but I'm not sure yet because I haven't done any kind of troubleshooting. So we are going to start by grabbing some starting fluid. We're going to take off the side here and squirt some starting fluid in it. We'll see if it fires up. If it does, then we know that it's just going to be a simple carburetor rebuild. So new carburetor, or carburetor rebuild, and full tune-up. That's what we're going to do. So let's go grab some tools to get this apart and some starting fluid, and we will go from there. I'll be right back. Now that we got everything that we need, so we're using a flathead screwdriver. Take our breather off. Filter. Gonna take some starting fluid. Don't take much. It's probably way too much, honestly. Pull back on the handle. So that tells me it's fuel related. So let's go ahead and we are going to get this set up on the workbench, and we are going to start tearing apart the carburetor and get it cleaned up, and we'll slap it back together. So let's get you guys set up on the workbench, and I'll be right back. Now that we got you set up on the workbench, this one takes a 5/16 socket, and there's 3 screws or bolts it's going to hold it on. I know my hand's in the way. One, 2, and 3. So with this one, let's set these over here out of the way. So it's just like about every other carburetor that we've dealt with. It's got a breather tube that's going to the crankcase. Got your air cover base. We're going to remove that, get it out of the way. So then the next step looks like we've got 2 screws on the back that's going to hold on the carburetor. And I believe that's a 10mm. That's what it looks like. So let's see if I can get this to fit. Yeah, the 3/8 fits. I just got to get this off of here because it's wedged on there pretty good. So let me tinker with this off camera. I'll be right back, guys. So what I did is just use my socket adapter, 10mm, and the extension, which should get me access to both of these. It's 1 and 2. So that takes those off. This whole thing should be free now, which it is. And then the last part to get this removed, looks like I've got a governor spring up here, which I know this needs adjusted because when they had it running, this thing was way too high. And that governor spring's up top up here. Let's grab my little there we go. This should slide out enough for me to get this free. Oh, gotta do the fuel line. Let's crimp off the fuel line. And then slide that back, get that out of the way. Now these are a little tricky sometimes, especially the older ones, so usually if you grab them, twist them with a set of pliers, that usually will break them free enough that you can get them off, just like that. And now this should be free to slide just like so. So I don't have a microfiber cloth down yet, so let's get resituated so we can tear this apart and take a look at it on the inside. So I'll grab my mason jar, grab my microfiber cloth, we'll get you reset up right over here on the right, and we'll see just how bad this carburetor is. I'll be right back. Now that we got you set up over here on the side, initial thoughts without really tearing anything apart, does not look the best. I can tell, judging by the inside of it, you can tell it's got some nasty crudiness going on, so that's never a good sign. let's start tinkering with getting this thing apart. I hope I have the right tools. Been cleaning my garage out, so unfortunately tools and stuff kind of got scattered and all that. So it's definitely dirty. So you can see the yellow discoloration inside this carburetor. So these passageways are going to be clogged up. That one is for sure. So let's take this float bowl off. We'll see just how bad. Well, that don't fit that. So it's bigger than a 10 millimeter on the bottom. I don't think it's a 1/2 inch, but we'll try it. Yep, it's a 1/2. Okay, so don't know what the dogs are barking at, so I apologize. So we're going to take this off. Set that aside. Let's give this a couple whacks with the screwdriver. And that broke that free. Oh yeah. So you can see the yellow discolorization that's on the bottom and all the rust that's floating around down inside that bowl. So we know for sure that this thing has picked up a lot of that rust. So you can see the crudiness just on the plastic on the float. So let's go ahead and disassemble our float. Which is there. Our needle. There's really not a whole lot to this particular carburetor, which is nice about the Briggs & Stratton design. I'm going to try doing this without taking off the gaskets because I don't have a rebuild kit handy. But we are going to put this in the ultrasonic cleaner just like it is. So like, yeah, this linkage is tighter than all get out, and that's why this thing ain't running, is because the choke, this is the choke, automatic choke feature that's on it, and it's also the governor. So this thing's not free, and if this ain't free, it's not gonna work. So the venturi tube should pop out if I remember correctly. It's been a long time since I've tinkered with one of these old Briggs motors. No, it doesn't look like it comes out. So we're gonna go toss all this in to the ultrasonic cleaner. I will go get it set up, get it going, and I'll bring you guys along with me once we get it going. So I'll be right back, guys. So now we got our parts washer ultrasonic cleaner going. Again, this has the gunk carburetor and parts cleaner solution in it. So to give you an idea of what I'm talking about, see if I can get this over here in front of it so you can see. Come on, camera, focus. So this is the gunk carburetor parts cleaner complete kit, and it's not empty. So this is a gallon of it. That is what I have inside my ultrasonic cleaner. So I'm kind of, I don't want to say double dipping, but we are using the vibrations of the ultrasonic cleaner plus the chemicals of the carburetor cleaner to get this clean. So this is just the first round. I'm probably going to run this 3 times, and occasionally I'll go, like, I'll flip this over as you go. I've got the bowl in upside down. You do that to get everything up into it. Helps clean it out that way. Once this cycle ends, we'll take this out, free up the butterfly, turn it the other way. I'll rotate it, probably flip it over as well. But let's see if we can't get a little bit of a better of a close-up for you guys on the next shot when we come back, and you might be able to see what's going on the inside. So I'll be right back, guys. Still at the end of the first cycle, got 1 minute left to go according to our timer. I can already tell you it looks 1,000 times better. Let's check our freeness of our butterfly. So notice, that already spins a lot freer. So we're talking one cycle. That's all it takes for this. But I'm gonna run it probably 3 more times, two more full cycles. So we had it in one way. So let's put it in. Every time I put it in, I try to do it a different orientation. This is just a little Harbor Freight ultrasonic cleaner. So you notice timer is reading all zeros. Block the light for you so you can see a little bit better. Yeah, so you hit set, 480 seconds. Temperature control is what TC stands for, and that's what the little red light over here is for. It's telling you that the heat's on. I will tell you the heat on this is not the best. I would suggest turning this thing on for probably 20 or 30 minutes before you start doing it, but I didn't do it this time. Heat helps, but it's not really a true, like, a must. So you hit the set button until you get to 480, make sure the temperature control is on, and then hit the on button. And you see instantly the movements. So I'm trying to freehand this, so I apologize if it's a little shaky. Let's see if we can get anything. Yeah, it's not gonna let me. Nope. But we'll let this go for about 10 seconds, 15 seconds. I'm gonna go for another full, at least this cycle. I may pull it out after this one, depending on what it looks like. And then we'll go from there. But once it comes out, we'll spray it with some carburetor cleaner, get it cleaned up, because you want the chemicals off of this as quickly as possible. And that's what the carburetor is going to come into, or the carburetor cleaner is going to come into play, is it washes off this. So we'll next time you guys come back, you will be back on the mower and watching me clean all this off. So I will be back, guys, and see you in a minute. We are back from the ultrasonic cleaner, so let's start by just inspecting some of these parts before we do anything to them. So this is the bowl after cleaning. So you notice it is a lot better. Still got some discolorization down there at the bottom, but you notice no more big floating chunks. Same thing with the float. I mean, obviously it's discolored, but there's no flaky material on it. Our main jet looks good. I haven't blown anything through it yet, so I don't know. Gasket, needle, pin, and then same thing with our carburetor. Is you notice, like I can see through the centrifuge there, the emulsion tube. I can already see through it. This turns real free, which is nice. So yeah, I can see the pinhole on the brass fitting there. So what we're gonna do, after taking it out, I always rinse anything and everything off with carburetor cleaner, just because it's a chemical that you're using in the ultrasonic cleaner. If I leave this sit a little bit, my bet that'll come out spotless. That looks good. That looks good. Let's check this. So what you'll do is you'll spray through the side hole and watch for liquid to come out the center hole, which it is. That tells me that's clean. And then we will go the opposite direction. This is your main jet. So what happens is this gets connected to the bottom of your bowl, and then fuel comes in the side hole and then shoots up the center and goes up your emulsion tube in the bottom of this. That's how this carburetor functions. We're going to start with this little hole here, and it's coming out down here, which is good. Don't think this goes to anything. Now I know taking these gaskets and everything off is the right way of doing this, but like I said, I don't have a gasket kit. So unfortunately, I don't have that luxury. So yep, she's clean. Got one final rinse down. Basically killing this can, it's empty, so. And that's the problem with gaskets, is they are extremely sensitive to the chemicals, so they get real soft. I mean, that's kind of the issue with the float bowl gasket when I go to put this on. Same thing with the main jet. So let's start putting this back together. So first things first, gonna be putting our needle on our float bowl, setting that down inside, taking our pen and aligning this. Just like so. So unfortunately, I can already tell you that the needle's swollen up. So what happens is it's supposed to sit kind of flat. So this may be an issue, we'll see. And then the next one is going to be the bowl. Gasket. And our main jet. And this, you don't want to go down pretty tight, especially good enough for me. I don't want to go like crazy tight, but I want to make sure that it's tight enough that it gets a seal. So we may have to get a seal kit for this. We'll see. But that's how you rebuild this carburetor here. Pretty simple, pretty easy. So now let's go ahead and we will get you reset back up to face the engine, and we will get this reinstalled. So I'll be right back, guys. Now that we have you reset back up, the process is the exact same way, but in this case I did find my mason jar, so we're going to flush this fuel system out a little bit. check that out real fast. Again, it don't look terrible. It's just discolorized, so I don't see any separations. So we're good with that. Let's start by attaching our linkages. Now on this one, there's a O-ring gasket that's on here. Would make sure that it sits up on that. That's the most important part to that, I can warn anybody. So that goes on just like so. And then our choke governor linkage. Just like so. Bring this over here with all my parts, with my screws on it. And I need my drill. And we'll need our 10mm socket with the extension on, because you won't get it without the extension. I know I'm kind of blocking the camera, and I apologize, guys, but sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do. So that's that one. Let's mount this one. Come on. There we go. That's those. So before I put the breather on, I want to go ahead and rehook the fuel back up, make sure we don't have any leaks. I'm about done. Then we'll get everybody out here and we'll do this.
You're fine. I'm just gonna get the shit started.
Looks good. I don't see any leaks. So we'll move our fuel line over. Cap that off. So that's good. And then we are good to mount our air box. And before we do that, I'm gonna run some carburetor cleaner on this real quick to clean it off. We got that cleaned. And it's gonna go on. Just like so. Gotta get the right nut, driver. That ain't the right one. Where did it go? There it is. I know which one I'm looking for, I just can't find it. So 5/16 nut driver. Now these are going into aluminum, so you can go a little bit tighter if you really wanted, but again, they don't have to be on crazy tight. They just need to be snug to prevent air from leaking out. So I'm not tightening all these down until I get at least these two in. That way I know they're in the correct alignment. And then snug them down. And then we have a new air filter for this one. Not putting the old one back on. It's a new air filter. So set that down just like so. Air filter goes on. Just like so. And then take whatever you want. I'm just going to use a flathead. There you go. So now we are going to set this down on the ground and test it and adjust our governor, which is this arm right here. So you just need a screwdriver. I mean, you can bend it with your finger if you can get it in there. So I'm going to go ahead and bend that in a little bit. Yeah, so let's get you reset up and see if she'll run. Now that we got you back on the ground, let's do a primer. 1, 2, 3. We'll do 4 just to be safe. Well, there we go. So next part of this is going to be the full tune-up, which would be spark plugs. We already changed the air filter, give it a good cleaning, blade sharpening, the whole 9 yards. So we'll pick up from there. I'll be right back, guys. We have cleaned our lawnmower up, and then obviously we got a rainstorm. So things are a little wet, but we're going to finish up our video today. So we've got it running. I'd like to know what's on this deck. I don't know, but we're going to replace our spark plug, and it is a J19LM. So we're going to put a champion back in it. Unfortunately, I have not gotten a chance to order NGK plugs that are this cross-reference. So one of these days I'll get around to ordering some NGKs. This plug don't look terrible, honestly. So looks like it might have been replaced a year, maybe 2 ago. So we're gonna put a new one in just to be safe. That way I can say it's been replaced. It's part of my full tune-up process that I do on all my mowers. It was $1.97. That's how much one of these cost. So tighten that up. So right there is tight, and then I'm gonna go about another quarter turnish. So that's that. I'm not gonna do that till the very end though. We don't need to plug that in because I will be tipping it over to drain the oil out of it. So let's get this set up. Set our drain for oil. Scoot this up a bit. Zoom out so you guys can see what I'm doing. So the drain is right over there. Pour our cap. Set that aside. This mower, unfortunately, even though it's an aluminum deck, it's quite a bit heavier than some of the other ones that we've been working on recently. Let's see if you guys can see what I'm doing over here. Hopefully you can see. So we're tilting it over. This oil is extremely dark. Extremely dark. And that's how you drain it. So this one takes 18 ounces of oil. So we're going to use our gauge, our measuring device, and we are going to put, I'm going to put about 16 in this first. That's 17. Okay. We'll start with 17 then. So The reason why, I don't know if I got all the oil out of it or not, but we're gonna start with 17 ounces. I know it calls for 18, so we're gonna see what happens. Slowly pour this in. My dog is going crazy, and I don't know what he's going crazy about. Stop this a little early. We got probably 2 ounces still left in the container. So I'm gonna see what this comes out measuring as. And we'll go from there. So I'll be right back, guys. Okay, we got the dogs to quiet down a little bit. It's been sitting for just a couple minutes. Let's run our dipstick in. So according to the dipstick, oil level is just above full. So I'm gonna call that good. Like I said, I didn't use all of it, so let's dump the rest of it back in our container. And then the last step is just to sharpen the blade. So the Super Recycler does have a different blade system than any of their other Toro mowers. So let me fight with this off camera, and I'm going to show you what I'm talking about. So bear with me 1 second, guys, and we will come back with the mower up on its side so you can see what I'm talking about. Okay, we are back. We get the mower up on its side. So this is the reason why most people enjoy their Super Recyclers, is this tab, this plate, I should say, is a unique design specifically to the Toro Super Recyclers. That tab that is on there is designed to give it an additional lift built into it, so it helps with the cut quality, and it also suspends the grass up into the deck a longer time and keeps it suspended, and it helps chop it up, and it actually makes your grass clippings a lot smaller than your traditional like recyclers and so forth. So that's the advantage, and one of the biggest reasons why a lot of people will switch from a recycler to a Super Recycler is because of this piece right here. So the blade itself is a model number 108-3762, and it's stamped right here on the blade. The blade itself doesn't look terrible. It's got a couple nicks in it, but that's to be expected on a used blade. So let's get this torn apart real quick. So noise alert, we're going to be using our air gun. So take that off, and there is our blade. So like I was saying, don't look terrible. Just needs a good cleaning, really. Got a couple nicks right on the end, so that's to be expected. Let's go get this ground down, get it nice and sharp, and we will get it reinstalled here in a second. So I'll be right back, guys. So now that we have our blade sharp, we're gonna set this aside. Oops, sorry, I didn't mean to hit you guys. And we're just gonna clean up our blade, or deck a little bit. The nice thing, again, another reason why people will switch to these, is because this is an aluminum deck. So it will not rust. No matter what you do, the deck itself is not going to rust away. Odds are the actual mechanical parts of this will break, and the mower blade and the motor will go bad before this deck becomes completely useless. So reassemble, goes back the same way. Always start it by hand. So noise alert, going to be using the air. There you go. So now we have a fully finished mower. So let me get this flipped back over, and we'll do a test start again, and we'll do some grass cutting with it real quick. I'll be right back, guys. And that is it. So if you guys like the video, give me a thumbs up. If you don't, give me a thumbs down. I use the thumbs to track down videos to figure out what you guys like and what you don't like for future videos. Also, make sure you go slap the subscription. I think it's in the top right corner, top left, wherever it is. Give me the slap for your subscription. Also, if you're interested in AMSOIL, go check out the link down below for that. Also, I will send a link down below for the Amazon products that was purchased for this, which was the air filter box and assembly and all that, and the spark plug. Other than that, I believe that is everything, and you all have a fantastic and wonderful day. Thank you very much for watching, and have a good one.